Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. This is the election predictor. Excuse me. I am back with another video today. Today, I'm going to be doing an alternate history video. This is a 2008 election between Hillary Clinton from the Democrats and Newt Gingrich from the Republicans. Hillary Clinton, obviously, being at this point in time senator from New York and former First Lady of the United States, and Newt Gingrich being former Speaker of the House of Representatives and representative from Georgia in Congress. This is going to be a bit of an interesting race. Both of these very well known figures, especially back then. Gingrich probably dwindled out a little bit since then, but both of them very, very well known and did have more of a popularity back then. Clinton much more liked than she was after 2016, obviously with the Benghazi scandal, the email scandal, and many other scandals with Clinton, health scandal. Obviously, popularity decreased, but Gingrich, this is obviously before all of that. So Clinton, and this was after Hillary Clinton decided to stay with Bill Clinton, that increased her popularity. So anyway, a lot of different things. This is a completely different scenario. This is not a 2020 prediction with Hillary in it or a 2016 prediction with Hillary in it. This is something else. So I am going to have her do better in this, and Gingrich is still a pretty strong candidate for the Republicans. Gingrich is, I'm not going to be saying who's going to win this race, but both of them very strong candidates. I just wanted to mention that Hillary, don't expect me to bash Hillary as much because this was before she was Secretary of State. So anyway, let's get right into the safe states. This is the best map I can use at the moment, so I'm just going to make it known when I'm changing from safe to likely. New York, obviously, her, quote, new home state. She would take the Northeast, obviously maintain popularity there, and I'm going to give her Maine at large just because I can't split it up into congressional districts. New Hampshire, I'm not going to touch yet. Also, Illinois, that's also her home state. I guess she does have a lot of home states. You have Illinois, Arkansas, New York, Washington. I mean, she's all over the country in that regard. But anyway, let's get to Newt Gingrich. Alaska will be a safe state. Utah, and then obviously all of this. Texas is going to be a safe state. Remember, this is 2008. I'm going to leave Indiana out of that. This is 2008. And Georgia will also be a safe state. Virginia, New Mexico, Colorado, much more toss-up states. And obviously Minnesota, Rust Belt, more to the left, but we'll get to that. Okay, so this is 190 to 194 at the moment, and let's get back to likely Democrat states. That'll be Minnesota and Michigan and Wisconsin. Wisconsin, a much more Democrat state, been shifting significantly to the right since about 2016 when Trump really made that shift happen. Romney maybe a little bit against McCain, but McCain was just a really bad candidate for the Republicans. So, I wouldn't judge it based off of 2008, probably around 2012. Those are the likely states for the Democrats. I do think that Gingrich would still have done pretty good with the suburban women. I actually think that he would do better with the suburban women than what Hillary would have done, especially after the Monica Lewinsky scandal, even though she did gain popularity in staying with Bill afterwards. So anyway, let's get into the lean Republican states. Arizona, first lean Republican state, obviously a likely Republican state, obviously a much more Republican state back then. Indiana, a likely Republican state, and that's going to be all for the Republican likely states. Now let's get to lean Democrat states. First lean Democrat state we're going to start off with is Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania will be a lean Democrat state for Hillary. Rust Belt, obviously, more to the left, as I continue to mention. And Pennsylvania will go to Hillary. Now let's go to a lean Republican state. That would be North Carolina, obviously close to Georgia. Gingrich would do well in the suburbs. Gingrich would have increased support there. This is 2008. This is after the recession. Obviously, not good for Republicans, but Gingrich still, very, very distant from George H.W. Bush. And I don't think that he would be widely connected to that, although they would try and connect him to that. Another lean Democrat state, New Hampshire. New Hampshire would go lean Democrat. That is just northeastern, but not as Democrat as obviously Massachusetts or Vermont. A lean Republican state. That would be, I'm going to give Newt Gingrich Ohio. I do think he would have more of a chance with those rural areas. It really goes back and forth, so I'll give him Ohio and Iowa. I do think Gingrich would be pretty good with the rural areas, good with the farmers. Obviously, Speaker of the House, he did put forth a lot of bills that supported them, especially with the NAFTA and whatnot. Actually, NAFTA was against them, but he was opposing that at the time. So obviously, great support in that regard. But let's continue back to lean Democrat states, and then I'm going to go to tilt Democrat states. So first lean Democrat, the next lean Democrat state is New Mexico. That's going to be the only lean Democrat state, and now we're going to move to tilt states. More tilt Democrat states. We're going to go with Colorado. Colorado would tilt Democrat. Obviously, not as Democrat as it is now. Definitely not as much as it is now. And Gingrich still would make it close. Gingrich still would have that shot across the country in making the state close. Another tilt Democrat state, Nevada. Hillary will become president. 271 barely, but there you go. Whatever. Whatnot. Nevada, another tilt state. Still slightly more to the right, or you could say Republican, but it obviously is Democrat here. Slightly more to the left, or slightly less to the left, but still goes to Hillary. Also, Virginia would tilt to Hillary, and Florida would tilt to Hillary. So the rest of the states go for Hillary. That's 311 to 227. The Republicans would have done better, even with the recession and all of the hatred and vitriol towards George W. Bush in 2008, if they didn't nominate somebody like McCain. Gingrich still had a very hard chance at winning. Republicans would have probably had to nominate even somebody more of a Donald Trump if they wanted to have as close to a shot as winning. But Gingrich can make it a bit closer. That's 311 to 227. That is what the 2008 electoral map would have looked like. In this scenario, obviously, the Republicans did not lose Indiana, Ohio, Iowa, North Carolina, none of those states, or Nebraska second. And Gingrich carried them, but obviously could not win this election, and it was all in favor of the Democrats. So Hillary Clinton becomes the first female president of the United States, and a husband and a wife for the first time would be considered president of the United States. And there you have it, 2008 election, 44th president. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you disagree with any of the state calls, please comment below, and I'll do my best to get back to you. Also, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're at 136 subscribers. Let's get up to 150. I guess by the end of the month, that would be awesome as well. And like the video. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and make sure to subscribe. Have a great day.